Okay, chalo. We are starting normal conversation. We'll do that later.
Yes, Sajid.
ये मेरे बाजू में बैठी है ना मेरे को बहुत.
I'm the problem.
Okay, 3, 2, 1 and action.
Hi, chef.
Don't call me chef.
Hey, that's Chef Guntas. 800 followers to I think 1.1 million followers.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Can I get an autograph? And I was like, oh no, let's take a picture. And she's like, no, because you cook with your hands. I want an autograph because I want
Wow.
something. And I was like, wow.
I know you're very famous now.
What I've realized through my journey is that the number does not define my emotional or mental health.
एक favorite dish.
नहीं हो पाएगा मुझसे one dish for the rest of my life. 10 kgs in 5 months. There are days when I cry when people fat shame because you don't know my story.
That's why you shut down your kitchen.
We're still doing things. That's what matters. You know, I would want to create studio on the move.
Also, it's been 3 years you haven't sent me kulchas. So time नहीं है ना?
Yeah, this time hai.
Hey, I just spotted Chef Guntas.
Yes, sir.
From balancing books as a chartered accountant to balancing flavors in the kitchen, Chef Guntas has not only mastered the art of cooking but has also captivated hearts online as a food influencer and a content creator. Known for her vibrant energy in the kitchen, Chef Guntas is here to share her story and her passion for food. Let's dive into a flavorful conversation with my dear friend, Chef Guntas. Hi, Chef.
Hi, Sajid.
So, tell us about yourself. What got you to Mumbai?
I have pretty much grown up as a nomad, but I moved to Mumbai when I got married, and now Mumbai feels like home. About myself, I'm an introvert who's very awkward right now doing this interview, and so I'm going to crack jokes to kind of overcome it. Even though, which is so ironic because my work is on camera, but I was a chartered accountant and I'm a chef now, and I wouldn't have it any other way, and I absolutely love what I do every day.
So, where are you originally from?
Born and brought up in Assam, and then I did my CA in Bangalore, and then I moved to London to study at Le Cordon Bleu. Then I moved to Delhi, I worked there briefly, then I met my to-be husband and I moved to Bombay, and then I met you guys.
So, tell us about your journey from being a chartered accountant to a chef and now biggest food influencer.
I am not the biggest
Mumbai has seen.
Not at all, not at all. Not at all, and I'm not even being humble, not at all. I think there are some fabulous people out there. But I always wanted to do something in food, but I came from a smaller town, city. And also during those days, I don't think there were many avenues to do anything in food unless you wanted to be at the back end of a proper hotel, which coming from, I wouldn't say conservative, but from a traditional Punjabi family, that wasn't a job description that they would prefer. So my parents weren't very keen with it, so we decided to instead, I either wanted to do architecture, but then I was like 5 years kaun padega, so I decided to do CA, not realizing that's 4.5 years, which took me 5 years.
So, you cleared your CA in the first attempt?
No, third.
Okay.
Yeah, but and after that I even had to do a little bit, you have to do a vocational training, which I didn't do, because as soon as I got the degree, I was like, Dad, can I now please pursue what I wanted? Because for my parents, it was just about
education.
It was like you have a backing, right? You have a like आपके पास पीछे गद्दी, अगर आप गिर गए, तो there's some education to kind of comfort you and take you, because I didn't want to move back to Guwahati after my education was done. So I needed a purpose, and CA was the purpose. As soon as I got that, it was like, now I want to leverage this and do what I love. And I learned patisserie, but I love cooking more, and I think lockdown kind of gave me, I don't know, lockdown just changed life for me.
So, you started influencing in the lockdown?
Yeah, I'm not influencing. My page
As
is
you
a
started
recipe
making-
book.
You started making content,
My
let's say.
page is a virtual recipe book. Okay, I am not influencing anyone. I am putting out my choices out there. If someone trusts that, I'm very grateful. But I never, like I said, I'm an introvert. Extremely camera shy also, so not very comfortable putting myself, for the longest time, only my hands, like I wouldn't even want to put myself out there until my team was like, listen, your growth is getting really hindered if you don't want to put yourself out there. So during the lockdown, didn't know what to do. Decided to make Thai basil chicken.
And send it to me?
No.
No, you sent me cookies in the lockdown. I remember. Cookies or brownies?
Yeah. Brownies,
Brownies, yeah.
And so I remember I made it and everyone wanted to be a chef that time. So I took a picture and put it up, Chef Moy, like, you know, trying to
Yeah.
be really cool and
Yeah.
all of it. And I had 800 followers because I used to sell cakes that time. And people were like, recipe, start putting it out. In 2 months before we got off the lockdown, we were at 5,000 followers. And then it was done with. I went back to cakes. We started the Pull Me Up cakes.
I think that was a very big transition in your life, the pull me up, and then I
Yeah.
think everyone started copying it in Mumbai.
So I don't even feel like it's my idea.
Yeah.
It was actually my bhabhi, like Ishdeep's bhabhi, who wanted me to replicate the Parker's cake.
The Parker's cake, yes.
And while we were doing it, we were not able to strip it off the seal on the outside, so we had to pull it. And Reels had just started, so someone just took a video and posted it. And it's actually a very plain basic concept if you think of it, chocolate cake with a hot chocolate sauce with brownies, and it's chocolate on steroids, and there's, if you love chocolate, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
And we came up with versions and all of it of making it sugar free and friendly to different dietary restrictions, all of it. But I think that's the power of social media. It caught on like a wildfire. One day, like days we were doing 100 cakes in a day. In 3 months, I had to get another studio space and kind of expand, get more people in. Not something I ever thought of. So I completely shut down recipes. Now when you're getting a chance to, you have a business
Yeah,
opportunity,
obviously,
you're
yeah.
going to take that up. But then things started changing after a point. I started realizing there's a lot of power with Instagram also. It's kind of opening a lot of new opportunities. When European Union came is when I had to make a choice that I cannot do all three simultaneously because it was taking a huge adverse effect on my health, and that's when I took a sabbatical from cakes, and now we do food content creation, or my virtual recipe book as I like to call it, where I put out a recipe every day or every other day, and European Union on the side.
You know,
So-
let's talk about your pull me up cake. I
Yeah.
think it was so viral because for the next 2 years since you started it, every birthday party I went to,
Yeah.
every house party I went to, and I'm like, okay, where's this cake from? It's
Yeah,
like
I
Chef
remember I
Guntas,
used to.
and everyone wanted
I,
it.
I used to get calls and they
Like,
used to
I
be
used
like,
to send
we'll
gifts
pay.
to people.
Yeah, they're like, we'll pay extra. Oh yeah, like your
Yeah.
address was on my V-Fast
Yeah,
because
yeah,
every alternate day
yeah.
used to be like send one, send one,
Send one here, send one there,
Yeah.
like-
When I think about it, the way I think is lockdown, people couldn't go out to celebrate. So the only way, and everyone in today's day and age, most people want to put out their celebration on the social media for everyone to see. So that had theatrics along with the taste, and that's what sold. Obviously, it's going to be a great tasting cake, but it became more of a celebratory thing that how are you, for certain people, that how can you celebrate if you don't have this cake. Then was another cake that came, which was the hammer one.
The hammer one, yeah.
The pinata
and I think
cake.
your strawberry
Tres leches.
Tres leches.
Yeah, that is also one that did really
That was
well
my
for
favorite, honestly.
Yeah, mine too. I prefer
Yeah,
that over
yeah,
Pull Me Up because
okay.
it was
Any
too much
day.
chocolate for me.
Yeah. So you're the
do.
brand ambassador of the European Union.
I am the food ambassador for the European Union More Than Food campaign in India. So me along with Chef Ajay Chopra.
How did this happen?
I have no idea. I still ask myself every day. I randomly get a call and I was like, listen, I don't know. Like my first question was, are you sure me? And this is I think a third year. Yeah, a third year. We have 2 more years.
Yeah.
And it's been insane. When they came back after the first year that, hey, we'd like to extend it for 3 more years. And I was like, okay, wow. And that's taught me so much. I think with now the access to YouTube, Instagram, social media, you realize, and even in India, like every 100 kilometers that you go, the geography is changing, climate's changing. So what you're going to eat in Mumbai is going to be very different from Assam, very different from Delhi, from Himachal, from the Konkan belt, because depending on the climate, depending on the soil, different produce hai. So different cuisines are there. And worldwide, there's so much, right? So there's so much you get to learn. And I like to save that part of my learning, implementation of that learning for European Union, and simplify it and decode it for Instagram. Because two different audience. Udhar
So that's why you shut down your kitchen?
I shut down my kitchen because my health was taking a huge toll. Because you're also shooting content, you're also taking care of a proper kitchen, and you're also doing European Union and social life and your personal life, and my health just crashed on me multiple times, and I was like, okay, I'll have to take a call, and that's where I felt that European Union, I'm not going to get the opportunity again, seize it now. And even with cakes, it was more like, with cakes, I think it was more like I can come back to it whenever I want and leverage the Instagram community for it.
So
yeah.
from 800 followers in
Yeah.
COVID to I think 1.1 million
Million,
followers in what, 4 years?
Yeah, 3.5 years, yeah, 4 years.
How does it feel?
Good.
Like, I know you're very famous now. I know you're very
No.
kind to say you're not, but I know that every restaurant I go to with you or every party, the best part was the concert we went to. Which concert did we go to together?
Backstreet
Boys, and randomly we are walking out. There are these girls sitting on the floor after the concert. Hey, that's Chef Guntas, and I'm like, okay. You go to a restaurant, people come to her for selfies. I mean, I know you're very kind and you think you're not famous, but you
No,
are
it's
very
not
famous.
that, but
Like, tell us incidents. Like, tell us one of the most funniest incidents that happened to you about people walking up to you and asking you for a selfie or.
I'm saying this because you're asking me, and because it was really like, I was taken aback. It was so funny. I remember we were at a restaurant and someone comes and they're like, hey, it's really nice to meet you, and I'm very awkward about it.
Yeah. I know. I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm very awkward.
Yeah.
Like I'm very grateful. I'm just awkward because I don't know how to make you feel comfortable, and I don't want to come across as that, yeah, okay, whatever, because it's
Yeah,
not that.
it's not
like,
you,
And
yeah.
I'm in my personal space, so it's a little like,
Yeah.
matlab, whatever. So that person's like, can I get an autograph? And I was like, oh, no, let's take a picture. And she's like, no, because you cook with your hands, I want an autograph because I want
Wow.
something. And I was like, wow, like, I mean,
See, you know you're famous. You just don't admit it right
but
now.
see, I don't look at it like that,
Yeah.
because what I've realized through my journey is that the number does not define my emotional or mental health.
Correct. Of
It's
course.
a number
Of course,
which
it's a
is
number,
more
yeah.
like a balance sheet number. Ab aapki balance sheet I cannot see. So I do not know what business you're doing.
Yeah.
For me, 90% of the work is there for everyone to see. So it's
Right.
more of a balance sheet number, and that is the way I look at it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's not something which is directly proportional to your well-being or your mental space or anything. It's not like at 2 a.m. in the night, if I need someone, I'm going to be like, which followers should I talk?
So every
it's a,
party we go to, I take, it's a thing now, me and Guntas, it's a thing. So every party we are at some point, I'll just open my Instagram like, hey, I just spotted Chef Guntas.
yeah.
And
He'll try to be a pap and I'll be like, no paps, please, no paps. Yeah. And if no one knows me at a party, he'll just make sure like that, he'll just rub it in people's faces, and I'm like, stop it.
Okay, so tell us about the most funniest DM you have got. मतलब शादी के प्रपोजल तो काफी आए होंगे, but apart from that.
Yeah, like some really random. But you know what? I knew I made it when a Reddit post came about me.
Reddit post came
Yeah,
out.
I
What
was
was
like,
it?
bus. Pata nahi, they talk, but I was like, bus.
क्या था?
Matlab, now that I'm worth your speculation, I've done
था
something.
क्या?
I know so many come and then they talk about random shit. Once I remember there was a Reddit post that someone, I used to sell cakes from my house.
Yeah.
And someone had written about that they'd come to my house to pick up the cake, whatever, and I didn't greet them very well or something. And I was like, wow, what happened 3 years back? I don't even remember. Maybe I was wearing
greet
my
them
night suit or what, like, I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, but DMs to some really, really funny ones come, yeah. Really funny ones. Like, I remember one that came yesterday, outrageously weird, which was just that, you know I don't eat mushrooms, why are you making a mushroom recipe? And like, wo apne aap se conversation kare ja raha. Yeah, people talk. People talk and it's funny. I find it so entertaining.
But do you get a lot of DMs saying about non-veg and veg dishes?
So I get a lot of unfollows when I post non-vegetarian recipes.
So I know that you have now.
I do mainly vegetarian.
You do 80% vegetarian.
90%
Why is that?
vegetarian, because when a huge part of the Indian population is vegetarian, and when they see raw meat, they're not comfortable with it.
So you think you lose followers when you do that?
Yeah, I do. And I get a lot of things like, oh my god, like vegans kind of come attacking, a lot of them. I think it's easier to post a recipe and give an option for a protein replacement rather than doing recipe which limits my audience. But then again, there are pages which are more non-vegetarian friendly. So it's the community that I have built that prefers it, and I'm catering to them.
So since we spoke about health,
Yes, sir.
tell us about fibromyalgia. Like, I don't think a lot of people know about fibromyalgia. What is fibromyalgia?
I was 20. I went to 21 doctors. in a row.
21 doctors.
21 doctors. They
I
made
was there,
me do a test for leukemia and bone density and everything under the sun. And
They couldn't find anything.
yeah, and some were like, okay, maybe there's something we can't find, and some were like, it's just in your head. Even my family after a point was like, we don't understand what's happening, but this is not you. Why are you behaving like this? Because the energy had dropped and there's swelling and you don't understand.
Yeah.
And then when I went to a doctor, I don't know, I can't remember his name, but he was just like, hey, this is what you have, fibromyalgia. He made me do an ECG, these are all tests. And then he was like, fibromyalgia. I remember I started crying and I was just like, see, I'm not. And I
But
looked
had
at
you
my
ever
mom.
heard about fibromyalgia
No,
before
I'd
that?
not. And I just looked at my mom. I didn't even care. I didn't know what it was.
A lot of people don't know what fibromyalgia is.
Sajid, I didn't care what it was. I just looked at my mom and said, see, I'm not lying. Because so many people tried to make me believe that I was lying about it. And then he very clearly told me, you will not Google it, you will not learn much about it. This is what it is. It's muscle weakness. Your body takes longer to recover. For example, both of us go for a workout. You will take 1.5 hours to recover, whereas I would take an hour. Matlab, your body, there's delayed recovery in your muscles. When you go to sleep, the correct hormone that's needed for you to relax is not produced enough. He was like, I don't want you to get on medicines. I want you to just be on some multivitamin supplements. And you will, and that line I never forget, this will not dictate your life. You will dictate your own life.
Yeah.
And I didn't bother Googling it. Then I was tempted to, and I would at times, but it's been 12 years now. And there are days when it's tough.
It's very bad.
Yeah, like today I'm swollen, I'm puffy. There are days where it's really, really tough.
So I got detected at 34 with fibromyalgia.
Yeah, after
and
we
I,
met,
and I had no idea what fibromyalgia is.
Yeah.
And we are sometimes each other's support system. When we have bad days, we'll just pick up the phone and call each other and be like,
What
okay,
can we
this
do?
is happening, what can we do?
Yeah.
Fibromyalgia is tough, you know, it is
Yeah,
tough. It is
I
muscle
think
weakness.
the good part is that you are not, it's not a disease, it's a condition.
It's a condition, yeah, but
Yeah.
people don't understand it. So when, like, of course, like you said, 21 doctors, I went to at least 30 doctors
Yeah,
in one
I
and a half year.
know, because I remember we'd
And,
come to your house and I told you, like I told Sana, that Sana, I think you could like maybe...
It took me a year.
Yeah,
Like I went to literally
it took
30
me also
doctors.
6-7 months.
I think I have done
yeah.
every test under the sun to find out what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
But nothing. There was
Endoscopy,
nothing.
this, that,
and
everything.
then I realized
yeah.
that a lot of people told me that if doctors can't find anything, they detect it as fibromyalgia
Yeah.
and muscle weakness, or you call it chronic pain.
Yeah, chronic pain and fatigue is what they say.
It is very difficult to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you put on weight.
A lot of weight, a lot of weight, a lot of weight. And but you know what, Sajid? For me, with how health has been, even the last 6 months, I got chikungunya, and chikungunya was 10x more difficult because I already had fibromyalgia. That was matlab a bummer to a point ki I couldn't walk for a month.
Yeah, I know
quite
last
literally.
6 months has been very
It's
difficult
been
for you.
difficult, and it's even more difficult when your job is on the camera.
Yeah.
And every day you get a message saying you've put on weight, and it's like, how do I explain to you
You can't explain this
that
to people.
I
right?
have been on bed, I have been in crippling pain, and I'm still proud of myself for showing up.
Yeah.
But when I look down, I feel that while yes, fibromyalgia has been there, I don't know, I don't want to sound pompous, but I do believe that I've still been able to do more
Yeah.
than people without any limitations.
That's awesome.
Maybe I do more because of that, because I always have that thing to prove it to myself that I'm fine.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah. It takes time to push yourself. Like
yeah.
I went under depression for a year because I couldn't
100%.
figure
There's still
what I
patches.
have. I stopped working. I was only running around to doctors at that time. I started feeling better and getting out. So a lot of people told me, I think you should see a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I need to see a psychiatrist for the pain I'm going through. But they're like, listen, your reports are normal. You need to go see a psychiatrist. And that's when I went to...
Yeah, but that's why I want to clarify. It's not, you don't need to see a psychiatrist because it's in your head.
Exactly.
No, the
No,
pain
my
is
family
real.
didn't understand.
That's what I'm saying. The pain is real.
My parents, my family, they didn't understand.
Like
They are
when you wake up, you feel like 10 trucks have gone over you in the night.
Like people thought कि यार ये पागल है. He's saying यहाँ पेन हो रहा है, वहाँ पेन हो रहा है. MRI is normal. Doctors are saying it's
Yeah.
normal, and they did not. No one understood what I was going through, and I could not explain.
I think a lot of people get confused that, oh, it's in your head. It is not in your head.
It's very difficult to work with fibro.
Yeah,
like, I
it's
know. Like I have
to
days
work
where
out.
work out
And to
work.
show up the
To
next
show-
day,
yeah.
to wake up the next day where
Yeah.
you feel like,
Yeah.
listen, like,
Yeah.
you have to just pick me up because my
Yeah.
body cannot even function
Yeah.
on
But
its own.
medication really helps, is what I saw. I've been able to push myself.
For me,
the last 2
medication
years.
never helped.
Yeah.
No, like, I mean, psychiatric medication, again, I'm terrible with medication.
No, I'm
Chikungunya.
talking about psychiatric medication because painkillers don't help with fibromyalgia.
No, but for me, the biggest problem in life is I'm not good with medication of any kind.
Yeah.
I can't take, like, medicines for me, I throw up. I'm so bad with medication that I've tried to kind of work around other stuff that help.
Weight keeps coming and going, that's fine.
Yeah, but weight also gives you, like, when you're not used to looking at yourself in a certain size, it's not about that you can't go and buy clothes in bigger sizes. You cannot connect with yourself anymore. Because when you look into the mirror, you're like, who's this person?
I've put on 20 kgs in 2 years.
10 kgs in 5 months, okay? So, I know what you're saying. But,
Yeah, it's difficult.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
We're still doing things. That's what matters.
So, if you could create your next studio anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
You know, I would want to create studio on the move, and I'll tell you why.
Studio on the move?
Yeah.
What is that?
So, I would maybe want to have like a van
Okay.
with a kitchen set up, and you go to different places.
Like a
Maybe-
food truck.
No, not a food truck exactly. So, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I'm trying to say. So, when I was growing up, I grew up in Assam.
Okay.
And I had cousins in Shillong. So we used to meet every month or 2 months, and we used to go to the tea gardens or meet एक river के उधर and literally chop the wood. घर से हम बर्तन ले जाते थे and we used to light the fire and fishing and, you know, kind of making food there. And I found that really exciting and interesting.
Okay.
So I'd actually want to do that and shoot in different locations. Maybe on the way to Lonavala. Maybe, you know, different places,
So you
off-site.
have like a van where you can shoot.
Yeah, where I can take all my equipments, but
Okay.
then shoot in different locations. And I think
Wow.
it'll be interesting. Like, imagine maybe you are in Goa and you're shooting in the paddy field. And
Yeah, you
then,
can do that, yeah.
you know, you're in Himachal and you're shooting there in the hills. So there's just so much you can play around with. I would love to do that.
That's exciting,
Very
yeah.
far-fetched thought, but yeah, I'd love to someday do that.
It's like a vanity van you have on your own.
Yeah. And
And you just keep shooting content anywhere in the world.
this one guy who actually was a truck driver
Okay.
who has more than 2 million or 3 million followers now on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
वो proper truck driver.
Okay.
Okay, who would just make food wherever they would get a pit stop and just started creating content of it. And
Really?
he has a recipe page of it, yeah. So it's insane now.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
So you want to do something like that?
not a truck
Like a
driver.
proper vanity
I can't
van.
drive.
Of course,
but
like you want to have a vanity van of your own where you
Yeah.
with a kitchen.
yeah, I'd love to.
I'll travel with you.
I love how they're laughing at
Can
me.
I travel with you in that vanity van?
They're still laughing at me.
I think it's a great idea.
So if someone is designing their dream studio, what is the one must-have element they should not compromise on?
Natural lighting.
Hmm.
I think another thing that I would like to add most definitely is that when you're doing P2C, you want a place which is soundproof, so you don't have honking, especially in a place like Bombay.
Right.
You don't want the constant honking of the car's noise. And I think you cannot do without good natural lighting.
Natural light. I think
Yeah,
that's
very
I think the most important part.
Even
of
with food, like whether food, clothes, anything, but with food most importantly, I can't make people taste what I'm making,
Right.
but I can make it look good for them to actually drool over it. So
Okay.
that's where lighting plays a big important role for the colors to stand out.
Also, it's been 3 years you haven't sent me kulchas. What about that?
Because I'm waiting for the property store to find me a place so I can open a kulcha place and then send it to you.
So how did the property store make your studio hunt where we are sitting easier?
That's
Why-
not the first place you've gotten me.
I know, but
I mean, when I think of any kind of
yeah.
rental, buying, property, it's only been you guys.
How did my team help you in getting this space, and how comfortable were you with my team?
Few things about the property store that I absolutely love. Number one, extremely dependable. If you've given them a timeline, because for me, I got like in the previous studio, I just got a call. Listen, you got a
You
vacate,
got a
and
vacate in a month.
yeah, and I called Sajid. You got to find me a place in a month, and I remember you said I'll take care of it. So that just gives you so much relief that I know you'll take care of it. Number two, what I love about property store is very inclusive. So whether you're looking for a 1 BHK or a commercial space, or you're looking for a big space, office space, rental, whatever, one-stop shop, right? You come and you take care of everything. Another thing that I have to point out has to be that how, even though I've been in this place for 6 months now, if I still have any issue, I can reach out to Zahir. I'm assured that within 10 minutes, he'll get back to me with a solution for it.
So your new house is just about to get ready, I think in a year. Plan
New
to move
studio.
there. Oh, the new studio.
New studio, yeah.
लोग घर खरीदते हैं, ये घर खरीद के स्टूडियो बनाती है तो Are you excited about the new studio?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because obviously you get to creatively build something new, which is fun. No, because I really enjoy this space that I'm in, and I genuinely mean it. If I would have not invested in the other space, maybe I would have just honestly gotten
Continued
this.
here.
Yeah, because it's a wonderful place and I love it.
But it's closer to your house also, so.
It's the same distance.
Same distance,
It's
yeah, yeah.
exactly the same distance, 1 kilometer, which is super convenient in a place like Bombay and Bandra where everything's dug up. So I know whatever it is, tops 10 minutes, I'll be there.
So, Chef, if you had to describe the property store in 3 words, what would it be?
Dependable, inclusive, and I'd also like to use the word commendable because I'm supremely happy with all the options that came.
Yeah, I mean, I have to do that, right?
Yeah.
Post handover, pre handover, I have to be there. Like, my
Yes.
team is also very, very supportive. Chef, we are very, very grateful to you that you keep coming back to the property store for all your requirements, and we are very grateful to you. And I'm very grateful to you for also recommending me to everyone asking you for a property.
Yeah,
or
even
a-
when they don't ask me and I get to know they're vacating, I'm like, just go, I'm sending you the number, just call.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like Bombay, no one has the time.
No one has the time. Yeah.
No one has the time.
Yeah.
There's so many things, right? Like, for example, when we were looking for places, you planned everything out and it was like 8 places in
Yeah.
2 hours, everything's
Yeah.
ready, tuck, 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 tuck.
You don't waste time, right?
I am grateful for the service and for everything, and
Thank
I
you.
hope I make more money so I can buy more property.
So, what advice would you give to fellow creators and influencers looking for their own studio?
I think hold on in getting your own studio unless you've monetized, because it is an investment. It's
Of
not
course.
a one-time expense that you're doing. And once you have monetized, I think you should definitely look at a place which, depending on the kind of work that you're doing, is something that goes well with your niche, your craft, and can actually add value to that. Because and it's also a place where your team might remotely be working
Correct.
from on days.
Correct.
So something that makes place for them as well. It's also important to understand that studio in our case is not a commercial activity.
Right.
It's literally you cooking from home or you planning content
creating,
from home.
yeah.
And I see the difference it has created for me. It has made for me to have a separate space because it's literally me going from home to work. This is my workplace, even though it's not technically a workplace when it comes to the 4 walls. You know, it's not a commercial property.
Right.
You need a space that allows you to creatively think, express, create that content. Because what you see is literally that dimension in Reels.
After a long day in the kitchen and creating content, what's your best way to unwind?
My cup of coffee. I want to literally lie down,
Yeah.
see some mindless content which I know is not good, take a nice hot shower with Epsom salt, eat a great meal. But I genuinely look forward to that alone time. I think because when you're shooting, there's just so much commotion. You constantly have to be alert. You're standing for long hours,
Yeah,
and with
yeah.
fibromyalgia, that makes it very difficult because you do get a lot of spasms.
Spasms, yeah.
And then just to sit and lie down and just like have your coffee is bliss. Like that, and I feel so accomplished. I
Mochi.
love that feeling.
I know it's your favorite coffee.
Yeah. I can't say it, okay? Other brands are also there. They give me money. Bougie doesn't, but okay.
If you could eat only one dish for the rest of your life, what would it be?
नहीं होएगा मुझसे.
एक favorite dish.
But मेरा favorite हर घंटे बदलता है.
हाँ.
मैं top 5 बोल सकती हूँ.
I know
3
तेरा
भी
शीतल
नहीं
बुखारा
five.
favorite है.
नहीं, वो मेरा नहीं
हाँ,
है.
पापे का है.
हाँ, वो पापे का है.
Okay, tell us your top 3 favorite dishes.
Listen, I love sushi.
From?
Miso.
Mizu. Na?
Miso. Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's miso.
Vedant, I hope you're watching this. And Lakhan.
Oh God. Okay.
Next.
Lakhan knows that I love miso. Then I love burgers, and off late my favorite is Walter Burgers. I don't know if you've tried it.
Walter Burgers. No, I've
Yeah,
not tried
it is so good. Oh my God, it is so good. You
Really?
guys have to try it. It is so good. I'll order it now only. Ha, chalo. Lunch sorted. Another thing, momo.
Momos. You
Yeah.
like momos?
Oh God, I'm obsessed.
Yeah?
I love.
Like I prefer dim sums over
You're
momos.
fancy. We're not. I mean, listen, we've grown up
You've
also.
grown up in Assam and
Yeah, and udhar you always get in a plate 6 with itna sa cup mein chicken
it's not
soup.
momos, it's momo.
That's why I said momo.
Huh.
Because I got trolled.
How does trolling affect you? Like I know you get a lot of trolls and DMs and comments. Like, does it affect you in any way?
Yeah, it does. There are days when I cry when people fat shame.
Yeah.
Because you don't know my story. You
Yeah.
don't know steroids I've been on. You
Yeah.
don't know antidepressants that I've had to take. Or
Yeah.
you don't know how food during chikungunya has been the only thing that's given me any kind of comfort.
Yeah.
I wasn't even okay with anyone touching me or giving me a hug. Food
Yeah.
was the only thing. And yes,
Yeah.
I overindulged. It hurts, but there are times where you literally draw a line and you're like, I have to be kind to myself.
Right.
And I know my journey.
Right.
We'll figure this out. But trolling
But
happens
that's
so
okay.
much. मतलब कुछ भी लोग बोलते हैं आपके गुची के जूते फेक हैं. I'm like भाई अभी मैं बिल भेजूँ क्या? मतलब ये क्या है? Like कुछ भी बोलते हैं. Like I remember this when someone just and these are all people without faceless people, right? They're like you were so unsuccessful with cakes is why you stopped it and now you're trying to be a wannabe influencer. I was like भाई.
बहुत टाइम है लोगों के पास.
Yeah, so
कमेंट करने.
it's okay.
पर ठीक है ना.
बुरा लगता था.
मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है.
और कभी कभी तो मैं मजे से रिप्लाई भी करती हूँ and I get kicks out of it. Sometimes you have to be kind to yourself when people are not being kind to you
Obviously.
because you have to have your back.
Right.
हो जाएंगे
Thank you.
पतले यार.
हो जाएगी ठीक है ना. दोनों हम न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट के पास जाएंगे और अभी डाइट करेंगे.
नहीं, मैंने इतने पैसे खर्च किए न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट के पास, मैं फॉलो ही नहीं करती हूँ.
हाँ, नहीं. You know what your body needs. Yeah.
Right
So,
now, sleep and coffee.
I think now we know what you need to eat and you know, but with
Which is a
us-
bigger problem when you know and you don't follow. I know it's off topic, but this is one thing I realized and also realized, which is linked to fibromyalgia or something, that our nervous system is on high alert all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, and the amount of stimulus and the stimuli that we
Because,
have around
yeah.
is so much
The nervous
that
system
we
is
don't know
overworked, yeah.
how to calm down. Sometimes when I'm indulging in something, I know what I'm eating is wrong, but
But it calms you down.
it shuns away the noise.
Yeah, massages really help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get sore after massages, so I'm not very good with it because my muscles don't take it well.
The food helps you.
Love it.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's my life.
जी रहे हैं खाने के लिए. Chef, it was amazing having you on Key Conversations with Sajid Vakil.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking out the time. It took me 3 months to get an appointment with you.
I
but,
was waiting to lose some weight so I could do this podcast, and I realized वो तो हो ही नहीं रहा है.
But,
तो if I lose a friendship, I might
just
as
want
well.
to say that you're one of the most nicest person and one of the
You're
most
just
nicest
very
friends
kind.
I have. And thank you so much for being on the show.
And thank you for being there for me.
Always. Always there.